I am so excited for you all to meet. And last week I wore this shirt, and I thought, you know, what a shame I wore this shirt last week because it would have been the perfect shirt to wear while I was introducing them. And Rick suggested I should take a more active role in our household chores and the laundry in particular. Coincidentally, my wife is here hearing me say this, and Jeremy's recording it. So that'll come back to haunt me. I have to give you a little bit of background, though, before you can really appreciate what the shirt is about. And the background is this. I'm a United Methodist minister, and I've been worshiping in United Methodist congregations for more than 20 years. And as I got more involved in the denomination, I learned that the denomination has about a 250-year-old history of advocating for social justice. And that in 1972, someone thought it would be a good idea to add to our rule book, homosexuality is incompatible with Christian teaching. And so since then, there's been this back and forth as to how we feel about this and what we do about this. And some of the language that was added a little bit later was that you can be brought up on charges and kicked out if you are clergy who is a self-avowed practicing homosexual, which is interesting because I've never heard any gay people use that language. As I got more involved in activism in the denomination around this, I got to know other people who were also passionate about this work, but I was scared to bring it up in my own congregation. But outside of my congregation, I met a dear friend who was brought up on charges because she was married. And by being married, she was accused of being a self-avowed practicing homosexual, which is chargeable. And I'll never forget, she said, that is disgusting, that is offensive. I figured out I was gay when I was about 14. I haven't been practicing for a long time. I'm a self-avowed professional homosexual because I'm pretty sure I'm getting the hang of this. No practicing needed. And I thought, I'm in with the fun people now. This is going to be fun. It inspired me to want to try to do some work in my own congregation. Oh, by the way, it went to trial and she was acquitted because of people saying, you know what, I don't care what the rule says, this is wrong. This is wrong and I'm not going to support it. I'm going to come back to that. I finally screwed up the courage to do something in my own congregation. And I found a friend who also felt that we needed, as a congregation, to make a public stance to say, we disagree with that rule, we think that's wrong. And we didn't go public for almost a year, in part because I was scared that I was going to alienate myself from a congregation that I come to really care about. In the process, one of the things that I learned is that there are a lot of us that care deeply about equality, care deeply about not being bigots, but we're not good at it. We try, but we haven't figured out how to do it yet. I remember my friend was saying it's really important that we do things about equality for LBGYN. And I said, okay, boy, you got the wrong acronym there. That's not it at all. Your heart's in the right place, though. All kinds of nastiness came about by us trying to move this congregation in a direction where we could even talk about what we were saying, how we were representing ourselves. When I went into ministry, I was no longer a part of that congregation, but after a whole lot of pain, that congregation is now one that is openly welcoming and affirming not only of LGBT people, but even of LGBT clergy. That's a big step that wouldn't have happened if someone didn't stand up first and be willing to take the risk. I'm almost done. I got involved in the national level as well. And we meet every 4 years to decide the business of the church. And in 2016, a bunch of people said, you know what, if you're gay, you get kicked out. What if all of us came out at once? And I got this shirt because these are the names of the people who had the courage to come out and say, you know what, I'm clergy, my life is dedicated to God, and I'm gay. And they couldn't kick them all out. They couldn't put them all up on charges because it's too many. And so by doing this together, there's strength in togetherness and there's strength in public witness. Things have changed a whole lot since then. We're going to get to that soon. But I wanted to share that with you. I got a lot of funny looks wearing this in Dottie's, by the way. I wanted to share that with you because there's strength in numbers, and there's strength in solidarity, and there's strength in supporting one another. That's what we're all doing here. Great shirts. Wear them in places where they make people feel uncomfortable. When I've done that, I've found there's always someone who said, well, I wasn't going to bring it up, but now that you did, that's great. I'm serving my 4th congregation now. Every single one of them has had somebody who is gay or gender non-conforming that no one knew about, and they needed someone safe to talk to, and in most of those cases it was causing a lot of damage around people who claimed to love them that didn't realize the harm they were doing. So represent as loud as you can is something that I just wanted to share with you. So wear the shirts. It's a great way to just let people know that you're a safe person to talk to, because you never know who really needs a safe person to talk to. All right? So with that, like I said, thank you.